What's going on, guys? Ronnie here with the Local Losers. I want to talk to you guys a little bit about a few different things. First off, we are back. Took a long break. Just wanted to kind of reset, think about YouTube, what I want to do, that kind of thing. Focused on some projects, got some things done. Really trying to drive forward and get a bunch of projects done. We're also going to be changing the video style a little bit. And hopefully that helps grow the channel better. Because if not, I don't see good gains. Probably not going to be doing this for much longer. So, today we're working on our hard body. Have a few things to do. We're trying to go to Spooky Drift, which is the last time we drove the hard body. So it's been a year, which is crazy. And we're doing all kinds of stuff. When we went last time, I don't know if you guys remember, but we had a death wobble issue and we got that fixed and then it came back and we now know what it is. Ordered some parts, hopefully that'll fix that. We also had over centering issue, which is where your wheels are like this and you turn and they're on a pivot, right? They're on a rod and they go. Well, when you try to turn the steering wheel back to get the wheels to go straight, because they've passed their centering point, they actually try to do this, and so they get stuck. The truck was doing that. We fixed that, but I don't know if I have enough angle, if I'm happy with it. So we have to do some figuring out there. What else are we doing? Replacing these bolts, that's our death wobble issue. We're gonna get those replaced. Steering seems good besides that. We were having some rubbing issues up in the fender wells. I don't know what exactly we can do about that. We're gonna try and just beat it with a hammer, see what happens, go from there. And there's one last thing that we have to do, and it's building this custom sway bar. So here's the bar. The problem is this isn't long enough, so I have to go to a metal shop, take this, and get them to get me this exact thing, but about a foot longer. This is 36 inches. I need 44 inches to be happy. And then we just have some small stuff. My shift boot that goes on the transmission tore last year after I replaced it. The pan on the truck, the shift tunnel, transmission tunnel, it's too close to it and it rubs a hole in it. So that's what we're doing. Working on this project. We're gonna get it done. It's gonna be good to go. And then in the next episode, we will be drifting the crap out of this thing. Hopefully it'll be killing it. Teddy will be there with his truck. And so maybe we can get some truck on truck action. Hopefully we can do that. And it'll be great. Bo will be there drifting the RX-7, so you guys can see some footage of the RX-7 on track, because that car kills it. Yeah, so let's get started on this. I'm going to show you guys the fix for our over centering. So this is our maximum angle of attack, which really isn't that great, but it's not terrible. We used this down here, which I made, and I think we were getting like 55, 60 degrees. But here's what we're using. We bought these bump stops, cut them down, and we might be able to cut them down more. Oh, sorry. Might be able to cut them down more. I just don't know when to stop. So I was thinking about getting the grinder and maybe just trying to grind it down, make a mark, grind it down, and see. We just want to get as much angle as we can without getting to over centering. So that's what I've been thinking about doing, is grinding those down a little, but that's not our main focus today. Our main focus is getting these bolts out right here. These are our lower control arm bolts, and they have stripped, so we can't tighten them up anymore. So I got new bolts, nuts, and washers right here. If you guys are looking for these, I got part numbers for you. So there's the part number for the bolt. This is the nut. And then right here is the washer. So there you go. There's all those. I actually had to order these out of Australia. So if you guys ever do need lower control arm bolts, They're like $150 from Nissan. I think I paid like $50 shipped from Australia for those. So, anyways, let's get cracked. Oh, and we got to tighten up this. We got to do a nut and bolt check because like this bolt's loose. So we just need to go through the truck, make sure everything's good to go. That way we can go racing. All right, we got that guy off. I'm surprised. I thought that was the one that was stripped. Maybe it's this one. Yeah, this is the one. It spins and spins and spins and spins. So I was hoping maybe we could get like this back here. Try out on this guy. We'll get him to come loose. That's what we're gonna try. Son of a gun. I don't know the best way to get this off without messing up my lower control arm. That's my problem, is I don't want to damage this. This is my extended lower control arm. So I just need to get this nut off and we'll be good. But I guess prior to doing that, let's go ahead and get the other side done and happy. We'll do that. So hopefully these fit. They are technically different because these are for the D22. I don't see why there would be any difference at all. This is the nut that came off the Hardbody, so I'm sure it's fine. So let's go ahead and drive this guy out. Get a hammer. There's 2 bolts on the back side we need to remove. Oh, never mind. It's 1 bolt. It comes through. Much bigger than I thought it was. This bolt right here, which is a 19. I don't think so. Funny because all the stuff that comes off the truck is zinc plated and this stuff isn't. It's plated with something else. I don't know what. Now get this off. So this is what this guy slips into, like so. And your torsion key or your torsion bar goes into there. In factory, that's what gives you some spraying. But of course, we don't do that because we're too cool for springs of that type. The hope is this wheel doesn't fall off and hit me. it did try. So there it is. Which that one is good. It's the other one that's bad. So. All right, so I don't know how we're gonna get this off. We're gonna use the torch, go slow. Hopefully it ends in a positive thing, not a negative. All right, wish me luck. Trying to go slow. We won't heat up that bushing in there. That would be terrible. I don't know how you get it out. I guess you burn it and then get slip-in ones. Which honestly we should probably do. At this point, this truck should probably have polyurethane bushings there. So maybe that's something we'll add to the list to do after Spooky Drift. This truck's so close to getting done. All this stuff I was waiting to do after I got the Skyline finished and the BRZ finished, but everybody's been asking me to go to Spooky Drift, and I was like, all right, the truck's close. We'll knock the truck out, go to Spooky Drift, have a great time. So here we are, doing all this crap. This thing is not giving me lots of throttle. That's all I have for throttle. Really weird. What's going on, guys? I'm not sure where I left off, but we are working on the hard body and things are going pretty good. We're learning some stuff. We're doing some stuff. We're getting it ready for Spooky Drift. Here it is on the lift. I talked about these steering stops. That's what I was showing you guys. That's where I was. Right here, these guys that we made. I actually have shorter ones. These are like 3/4 of an inch. We're going to 1/2 inch. We replaced these bolts right here, both sides. I also put in new hardware here on the tension rods, both sides with lock nuts, because those were both loose. And then, let me go close this door real quick. All right, so what I was talking about was this cross member here. I've had one bolt in it here, you can't see, and another bolt in it that is out currently. But yesterday, we were driving this truck and it got super scary. We were coming down a road, got into the turn lane, then the truck wouldn't like straighten back out. Steering was very numb, it was weird. And when we checked, it was actually twisting the frame here. So this part of the frame was doing this number because these bolts are missing. So we're gonna get those bolts in. I got them right here. And we're gonna get those replaced. Another thing, I was using my Harbor Freight little impact gun. This got that bolt loose, which is not correct at all. So went and got 2 more bolts because I was missing 2, got washers for it, and then we got nylock nuts. So we're gonna go ahead and put those on. I don't know if these washers are gonna fit, I hope so, but we'll see. Because I wanna run like this. Bolt, washer, nut is my plan. So we can go ahead and shove this guy back in here. Washer, if she'll fit, and it does. But we're only gonna be able to run one of them with a washer, it looks like. So we'll do next bolt, nut. So I think if we can only run one, I'm gonna run it on the outside once. The way it has more clamping force there. Yeah, it's been a little bit of a chore getting this guy ready. Learning lots of stuff. So when we went to Spooky Drift last year, the truck did great. We didn't really have any issues besides kind of what we're currently addressing, which was steering stops. The truck was over centering. Oh God. Let me show you guys something crazy. We're gonna have to fix this. Jesus. We might not be going to Spooky Drift, boys. Holy shit. That is bonkers. That's what's going on there. Holy moly. Wow. Okay. All right. We're living and we're learning. I'm going to show you guys something that's crazy. All right. New hardware. And now for the scary part. And I don't know how exactly we're going to fix this, but we got to do what we got to do. So this truck has had the bump stops cut off, and it's actually like ripping the subframe off. Both sides, front and back. You can see that gap on both sides. So yeah, we got to figure that out and fix that. Probably, I don't even know. Try and cut all this stuff off and weld in a plate here to tie that in. I mean, that's what happened. So we got rid of this bracing here, and then it's been able to, probably because those bolts were missing, torque that thing off. So fun stuff. All right, guys, so we're picking up where we left off on the hard body, prepping for Spooky Drift. The last thing we talked about was the front suspension. All that's fixed up. The frame's been plated back together, so that's not being ripped apart anymore. I did everything off camera. We've been really busting butt the last 3 weeks trying to get this ready, Teddy's truck ready, and then I had a SN95 Mustang that I sold to our friend Steven, and we've been trying to prep that for him. Bo's the only person that apparently was ready for Spooky Drift. That's kind of a surprise. Bo's typically the last person that's ready for something like this. But anyways, here we are. So I'm gonna run over what we did, what we changed, and how the setup has changed from then to now, which isn't really a whole lot, but we are changing things. So let's go ahead and I'm gonna get this thing all the way up in the air so I can show you the underside. So let's go ahead, head to the back. Took this truck drifting last year at Spooky Drift. It'll be almost exactly a year since the last time we went drifting. And I felt like the rear end was just a little bit too gripped up. These trucks are known for, let me see if there's a Hot Wheel out here. I know there is, because Levi was playing with them yesterday. I'll show you guys what they kind of do. So, here's our car, okay? Now, we're just gonna pretend that there's kind of, you know, a transition here. So when you're sideways in the truck and you're going like this, and you try to transition back, stock form, they like to hook back up right here and kind of power. You gotta like re-clutch kick to get the truck to continue. It's pretty annoying. And I was like, oh, my truck's got coilovers. It's got this stiff-ish, and I say that because I have very lightweight springs back here. They're like 180-pound springs. But anyways, I didn't think it would need a sway bar. Well, it did. So we pulled the sway bar off of Bo's truck, put it on this truck. It didn't fit. Obviously, the 4-link bars and everything are in the way. So we bought this guy off Amazon. I'll have a link in the description if you guys are linked and you want to run a sway bar. I had to buy this 1-inch bar here because what they provided wasn't as long as I wanted it. And yeah, so we welded all that up, put some tabs down here, and installed a sway bar. So hopefully that will help us on the track with our straightening out. I don't know what you want to call it, but essentially it's the truck hooking back up. And hopefully that solves that problem. So we'll have our steering fixed with our bump stops we put in, and then our frame fixed. You guys can't see it. My welds are terrible. This piece of metal right here slid down on me. I wasn't paying attention because I had the helmet on and it slid down. It fit really good. So anyways, after Spooky, we're gonna take all the suspension off, grind all this down, make it look good, and really weld it up. New bolt here, 2 bolts on the subframe here, whatever you wanna call this, the frame connector. New bolts here with lock nuts, so those aren't coming out. I really think this is the best the truck's ever been. Oil coolers mounted with 4 screws now instead of just 2, and they got lock nuts on them, so they're not gonna come out. This wheel right here, this wheel has always leaked, got it fixed, new tire on, so this thing should be well prepped for Spooky Drift. Dude. So this thing should be well prepped for Spooky Drift and be good to go. I'm gonna bring it down. I'm gonna talk to you guys about a few other things that we changed on it. And then that's gonna be the end of this episode, and I'll see you guys at Spooky. Okay, so my mic just died, but the final thing we're doing is switching the truck from E85, which is over there, to 91. We will be taking the E85 with us, but I'm hoping with us not having the traction issue in the rear that 91 will do what we need it to do. So I just had this thing on. So I was hoping, I found where it is. There's a flex fuel on here, but I was hoping that enabled, right? Boom. I was hoping we could see our ethanol percentage rating. I don't know where we see that. We're not going to add any boost. I don't know how we set it to let it know how much ethanol it has. This is what happened last time. I shouldn't have hit that button. So I don't know how it knows in the computer software. And that's the funny thing is, like, you can fully tune on here, but it's a little confusing. So just like your shift light, like you can turn it on so it fires off a shift light. really cool. This ECU is quite neat for what it is. Flex fuel. Fuel compensations, other compensations, that's boost. Settings, here we go. Default. Check, 15, check. So let's go here. We have ethanol. See, we still don't have ethanol. Engine coolant temp, injector TP, I don't know what that is. I don't know. Diagnostics panel. White, no. There should be a way. Interface settings. There we go, dashboard setup. Dashboard. We don't really need two, just one. Go to screen one on. That's fine. Free, right there. Let's go. Ethanol. Ethanol. Yes. Okay. So now we got ethanol content. Okay, so yes, we want to save dashboard. Ethanol. Okay, so now it thinks there's 47% in there. Let's go ahead and start this thing. Woo. Should see that drop quite a lot. You guys can see that 35, 34. Well, there it is, guys. On 91, got it set up. I turned off the flex fuel, but we can see what the ethanol content is, which is cool. It's floating around 25, might be high, might be low. I assume it's correct because there was ethanol in there. We have a ISR shifter coming. We're gonna replace that Chibe one with it. Fingers crossed. It is much better than that one. And then this truck is ready to go. This truck is ready for the track after it gets a shifter. The shifter should be here tomorrow. I'm also gonna try to get something to be able to mount a 3D camera for you guys. Hopefully I can figure something out that's not ridiculously expensive. And I'll try to get that ordered. I'm gonna go look right now once Carissa gets home. So anyways, thanks for hanging out. We'll see you guys at Spooky Drift. Come watch the truck slay, hopefully. Hopefully it kills it.